One thing that that was nice was that Republicans in Congress and in the Senate came out strongly against his statement, which was, I think, the first time I've really seen Republicans in any sort of large numbers unite together to tell Trump that he was wrong about the way that he reacted. So today, Trump was forced to give another statement in which he was reading from a teleprompter, words that had clearly been written for him by his staff, and he had no interest in saying at all. But in a very forced manner, he delivered the lines. Finally denouncing neo-Nazis and white supremacists.
Exactly. He was like a hostage reading a ransom note there, Tim, as we joked earlier, because he definitely did not want to be saying those words. He went on to say that racism is, quote, evil, and that no matter the color of our skin, we all live under the same laws, we all salute the same great flag, and we are all made by the same almighty God. So we all know that Trump, the theologian here, those words were probably written by Stephen Miller. Shout out to last week's Clown of the Week. One thing
I'd like to point out that, I think his speech today, it was really inspiring to everyone. I would put it as a mirror image to Obama's famous speech on race, basically. Yeah. So Trump's kind of hostage video of being forced to walk back his previous comments and say, like, all right, fine, neo-Nazis are bad, okay? Like, what do you want me to say?
This reminds me of like his inability to criticize Putin, and I don't think it's a coincidence that it reminds me of that, because I think it was both Putin and David Duke both helped Trump get to the White House, and that's why he's reluctant about denouncing them.
Yeah, exactly. It's a key constituency. So like it is definitely strategic. Not on the part of Trump, because he doesn't really think through anything, but like someone like Bannon, probably when Trump was chilling at his golf course over the weekend and he heard about this news and someone brings it to him, and then he turns to Bannon like, oh, what should I say something? And Bannon's like, nah, like we're good. Like we're good. Like don't stir up the the Pepe the Frog trolls on the internet.
Yeah, I think you're almost giving Trump too much credit there. I think he, maybe has some white supremacist sympathy, like deep in his heart. If you just look at like all the actions he's taking, I'm not sure that it's totally like political. The reasons why he's supporting these people, I think there's maybe a darker side to Trump.
Yeah, I think what motivates. I mean, now we're getting deep into the psychology of Trump, but like. I think what motivates him more than malice is being stupid and vanity. So like, I don't know. I feel like when you stack rank those ideas, like I think he's probably less interested in the ideology of white supremacy and more just that they help him win, and therefore he doesn't care if anyone gets hurt in the process. I don't know.
It's probably a little of both,
I feel like
more so political.
He definitely strikes me as somebody who is a racist. I mean, he wouldn't come out on day one and call Mexicans like rapists if he didn't have a little racist streak in him. That was before he knew that was actually a politically viable strategy, to just come out that vocally as a racist, being like, I am going for that racist vote. But he's definitely just erratic, and this speech he gave today where he sort of he didn't exactly walk back his statements. He read again the hostage note about how racism is evil. But earlier today, guys, he tweeted, heading to Washington this morning, much work to do, focus on trade and military, #MAGA, and then he gives an unscheduled remark on race. So like, this is just another example of Trump. He probably watched Fox and Friends and saw that there was liberal outrage, that he didn't condemn the remarks, and then just kind of like ran out there at the podium and made this rash announcement.
Yeah, I mean, I do take it as
on to our Clown of the Week segment. And guys, make sure that you remember who our Clowns of the Week are, because we have a competition coming up for our 20th birthday here at Radio for USA. Rahul, who are you nominating this week for Clown of the Week?
Well, so this week we were just talking about this feud between the president and Mitch McConnell, and I would like to nominate Mitch McConnell. He's been Clown of the Week before, but I found this week particularly amusing and hilarious, in fact, because ever since day one, Republican politicians have been engaged in this Faustian bargain with Trump, whereby they're willing to tolerate him being a buffoon and an asshole, and kind of burning every bridge that he opens. But they've been okay with it because they want to repeal and replace Obamacare. They want tax cuts for rich people. And what we're seeing this week is McConnell experiencing the backlash from that, the blowback, if you will. So I found that very amusing. I mean, Trump's an idiot, and he's turning his firing squad onto his own allies, and that's great. I find that amusing, but particularly that McConnell is the target of it, I just find lovely this week. Nothing's going to happen to him long term based on this, but it's funny to see him potentially squirm and imagine in his office his aides reading these headlines, and he has to kind of like roll his eyes or do a little face palm. That
recede into the turtle shell.
Yeah, exactly. Recede into the turtle shell because the Frankenstein monster that they helped create is now is now trying to eat them.
Exactly. No, he is. He's probably shaking in his shell over there on Capitol Hill, and just wondering, why me? Why me? Why did Trump finally turn on me? Anyway, that's a good nomination. Tim, who do you nominate this week?
So obviously, all the neo-Nazis in Charlottesville were clowns this week. They were carrying around tiki torches that they picked up from Home Depot, pretending to be an angry mob. They were carrying around cosplay shields and toy weapons. Although some of them had some real weapons too. But basically, it was a big mass of losers pretending to be militaristic.
Toy soldiers.
Exactly. Because they're not tough enough to join the real military. They just like to go play military with their other boyfriends.
The tiki torches.
Yeah. But anyways, I'd like to call out one of these losers in particular, Baked Alaska, who is apparently a popular Twitter personality. He got bear maced in the eyes, and there's a hilarious video of him just crying on the ground.
Boom.
And apparently may have some permanent eye damage. And you guys all know how Nazis feel about the disabled, so that might be the end for him.
That could be the end. The end is nigh for our alt-right friend.
This might be a slightly controversial opinion, but I kind of love these clips and GIFs of violence towards Nazis. I think that's great.
I've been thinking about that, and I mean, it's certainly it's enjoyable to watch, but I know deep down that's not the right solution.
If I see another Raw Story video clip of Nazi punch in the face at a rally, I just can't help but click on it. I got an itchy trigger finger, guys, for those clickbait articles about Nazis getting punched at rallies. Look, that's equally a clownish individual there that you nominated, Tim. I'd say that's pretty good. But I got one for you guys who may be one step higher in the hierarchy of clowns. Your boy Paul Manafort, the man who Sean Spicer said played a limited role for a limited time, even though he was campaign manager for months. And Trump, went on record multiple times talking about how great Manafort was and how he was going to help him, win the nomination. Paul Manafort's home was raided this week by the FBI in a early morning raid. Manafort apparently was not in the home, but they seized hard drives, documents, loads of information related to the Russia investigation and Mueller's investigation. I believe that the subpoena came from one of the grand juries that has been convened here for the Russia investigation, and it's how far from grace has Manafort fallen here. The fact that he was so powerful, serving as the head of Trump's campaign in the summer of 2016, to the point when he resigns in shame, really, gets found out that he was accepting millions and millions from Putin. And then now the FBI raiding his apartment in the early morning hours so that he can't like basically do anything about it. That's pretty clownish, guys.
I agree.
Yeah,
I will second that nomination.
Yeah, I co-fifi that nomination. What struck me with Manafort news about this raid also is that he had supposedly been cooperating with the Mueller investigation. So the idea that they had to go a step further and demonstrate some sort of probable cause and get the warrants to do this raid means they might distrust, or there might be some issue of trust between the investigation and Manafort. So he might be like lying about some shit, or he's involved in such shady shit that the Mueller people had to go a step further than just like talking to him if he was supposedly cooperating.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I think it definitely means that they think he's been lying to them, right? Because otherwise they would just ask him for those documents. Exactly.
And the interesting thing for me was the story here that apparently Manafort was the one they're saying that Manafort leaked that the whole story about the Don Jr. meeting in Trump Tower as part of this cooperation. But apparently, yeah, it seems like it's backfiring here because he was part of such shady shit that they're raiding his apartment. But I don't know, guys. He just feels like the clown of the week to me. But if you guys support that, then I guess it might be a done deal.
I support that.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Boom. Well, mission accomplished here, guys. We covered a lot of ground here today. We crowned the clown of the week. And this week was our 17th podcast. So stay tuned because on our special limited edition 20th podcast, we will be giving away an Amazon gift card. So you don't want to be the one who misses that. You don't want to miss that, guys, because it's kind of a big deal. So as part of that, more news to come on our Facebook page. So stay tuned and keep downloading the pod.